Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to all the assembled devotees. Let us start
Hare
our
Krishna
session.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, let us start our session with prayers to Shri Radha Govinda and our Guru Parampara. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhanvitamscha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरूपस्य च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय शिल प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय शंकर गोस्वामी की जय नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Shri Upanishad. As we discussed last session, the knowledge that brings one near to Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. This statement I really liked a lot, so I thought I will repeat this statement. So the early birds, students who have joined on time, will get this message again. The knowledge that brings one near to Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Yeah. So let us start our day with a quick recap of what was discussed in last session. Can I have some volunteers? And some of the things what we discussed is on the screen as well if you want to refer and say, but I want some of you to participate. I see Kalpana Mataji's hand. Who else? Yes, Shivkumar Prabhu, you can start, but other devotees, please keep few points ready because I'm going to call out names. Shivkumar Prabhu, you can unmute and you can start. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
In a prayer session, we have God invocation mantra 1, 2, and 3. Invocation mantra says Om Purnamada Purnamidaha Purnamadachate Purnasya Purnamadaye Purnameva Sheshyate means Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is complete because he is complete everything emanating from him is are complete even and from this complete whole whatever created those are also complete in themselves even though so many complete wholes are emanating from the supreme personality Godhead, he remains complete.
Yes.
This is the invocation method, and second
Yeah. Hold on there,
one.
Prabhuji. We'll give chance to others. Thank you. You very nicely told.
Thank you.
Who else wish to give me some inputs other than those who have raised the hands? Many of you have now joined Bhakti Vaibhava session. Nice to see you all there. If you see the participation, we don't get chance to participate only. People are so eager. They keep jumping and then they participate so enthusiastically. That is Bhakti Vaibhava. Yeah. Not necessary we all have to be correct. But our participation, our endeavors, our enthusiasm is what makes this session very lively. Shweta Mataji, you want to add anything from our last session?
Yes, the issue one says like the Ishavasya principle, like everything belongs to Krishna and we should only accept our quota. And so in the fire analogy is given like how Krishna is compared to fire and like the heat and light. This is different energies, and another example was like just like a worker who might utilize a house or something, but that house doesn't belong to him just because he made it. So in the same way, like we can't make earth or wood the raw material, so it belongs to Krishna. Therefore, we should not claim that we are the proprietor.
Yes. Yes, Mataji. So we are just a caretaker. We are not the proprietors. It is all Krishna's mercy blessing. So we have to utilize as per our quota and offer back in service of the Lord. That is the key lesson we have learned. And the second mantra gives a very good understanding of how we use this mantra practically in our lives. So second mantra is very important. Anybody wish to add what we learned from the second mantra? Praveen MS Prabhuji, you want to add anything on how we can practically use this Ishavasyam principle in our practical day-to-day life?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, whatever the little understanding what I have is basically it's a we have to if we have to get rid of the karmic reaction, so we have to exercise an utmost tolerance. That is one thing which at least I feel it's important. So therefore the not to reactive for any kind of actions, whether it is favorable or unfavorable. What at least one has to think is whether it is favorable to Krishna consciousness or not favorable to Krishna consciousness. So accordingly, one has to react to it. Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
That is one thing. Second thing, from this Sloka, how can we be free from our karmic reactions through our prescribed duties? This is the key lesson we are getting out of this. So Neha Mataji, you want to add? Neha Jindal Mataji. You can add to the points. Shanti Sudesh Mataji, you want to add to the points, whatever is already discussed?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. So we can be free from karmic reactions if we do everything to please the Lord, nothing to please our senses. So that way we do not get bound by the cycle of birth and death. Then
Yeah, so we do everything for the pleasure of the Lord, not for our own sense enjoyment. Neha Mataji, you want to add?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm so sorry. My internet was
Yeah,
not
no
good.
problem. So you can add to the point which is already discussed. Any points you wish to add?
Yes, Prabhuji, like last class we were discussing so many things. The main thing was like Ishavasya principle, no? We have to serve Krishna like God-centered. The ultimate creator is Krishna, and we already discussed that we are caretakers, and we discussed many things in introduction of last class, like the Veda. Veda is a transcendental knowledge that comes directly from Krishna. It is apaurishyam, which means it created by any man who is having four defects. And then we discuss the four defects like making mistakes, we are illusioned, we have cheating propensity, and this cheating propensity is so deep rooted. So we show the world that I'm such a sincere devotee and this and that, but the self reflection is very important, and that comes through sadhana. Like our attitude towards sadhana reflects our true nature, not that what we show off to people. And then impact senses, and then qualifications of a spiritual master we discussed. As per Ishop, they must have heard the Veda from an authorized source, and they must be firmly established in Brahman. And then the three ways of acquiring knowledge: Pratyaksha, Anumana, and Shabda. Shabda Praman is the best because our senses are imperfect, and we have very less time in this human form of life. So there is no time to waste in Anumana Pramana trying to find out. So Shabda Pramana is the best. And then we discuss two processes of acquiring knowledge again: ascending and descending. Ascending is trying to discover on our own, but that same problem remains. We are imperfect, we can't discover. But the descending process is perfect because we receive knowledge coming from bona fide parampara without interpreting. That is the descending process. And the three divisions of Veda, then we discuss Shruti, Smriti, and Nyaya. These are the three divisions. For us Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Vedanta philosophy is Govinda Bhashya. And we discussed about Ishopanishad. It is part of Yajur Veda, and uh, it is very cryptic, so one has to learn from a bona fide guru. So that is very important. So this was about introduction. Then we invocation mantra, how Krishna is complete. Even though everything comes from him, he still remains complete. It is not that he, everything is coming from him, so he is diminishing. No, Krishna is never diminishing. So the concepts of completeness as in three aspects, as Prabhupada ji says: Satchidananda Vigraha, impersonal Brahman realization is only Sat feature is realized, and Paramatma Sat plus Chit, eternity and knowledge is realized. But Bhagavan realization is complete realization of Satchidananda, and Satchidananda Vigraha in the form. Supreme Krishna cannot be only formless, otherwise, how he is complete? So that we discussed. Because he is complete, so he can be form with form and formless also. So that was the point that we discussed. And we, being living entities, we can realize our completeness by by serving Krishna, by accepting that we are part and parcel of Krishna. Example was of a hand is complete only when it is attached to the body. Individually it has no value. So similarly, we have no value independent of Krishna. So when we have to engage in Krishna's service, then we can be complete. And we are not complete because we are forgetful of the connection with Krishna. People want to be happy by independently sense enjoyment, but this never works because the same example as we gave. And the true purpose of human life is service Krishna. That real completeness comes only by serving Krishna. And we anyway, as Jivera Swarup Krishna Das, anyway we have to serve. Rather than serving family, nation, they won't give us anything. At the end of the life, nobody will come and appreciate, nobody will come and say anything, but only service done to Krishna, keeping Krishna in center. Then at the end of life also, Krishna will remember, nobody else will remember. So everything when we dovetail to Krishna, it becomes complete. Otherwise, no matter what we do, it remains complete. Like the example is given, no, like the 0 0. Until the 1 is added in front of 0, it remains 0 only. So Shloka 1 also we discussed that knowing well whom we belong. If we know that whom these people, whom these things, all these resources belong, then we will not be attached and greedy. We will engage it in Krishna's service. And the example was of heat, fire, light, and fire. Fire is Krishna. Ultimate maintainer and controller is Krishna. From Krishna, heat and light is emanated. But if we separate ourselves from fire, we will, vanish very quickly. So our individual quota is there. Krishna is given very mercifully. So we have our different quota. We should accept only that and be satisfied with that. The examples of cow and tiger, but only human being is such a greedy person that he wants to have everything. So then again, Ishavasya principle is God centered. Ultimate creator is Krishna, and the mentality that I'm just a caretaker, it will give us peace. Like a peace formula is there, no, Bhagavad Gita. Ultimate Bhokta Ram is Krishna, then we'll remain peaceful. And Bhagavad Gita 7 chapter Shloka 4-5 also gives knowledge of para and apara prakriti. Krishna says there's another energy of me, which are living entities. They are exploiting this. So we have come first in exploiting. So we should serve Krishna also. And if we don't follow our quota, then we fall down into animalistic life. That is the greatest danger. And the root of all this is not obeying the nature's law. We try to become the proprietor. That is where sinful activities begin. And a wise person is the person who understands nature's law, and he is free from proprietorship basically, and he is just following Krishna's order given in Bhagavad Gita and the Shastra, and he remains blissful, and he ultimately he becomes complete. So this was our introduction, invocation in Shloka 1, and please forgive me, I could not listen to Shloka 2 properly. I got some work, so I'm so sorry.
Nice, Mataji. Slide by slide, point by point, you have told everything so nicely. You have captured. Thank you very much. Kalpana Mataji, you want to add anything on Sloka 2?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, according to the Shloka 2, what you explained is the person may aspire to live hundreds of years, but following only his prescribed duties and not following Krishna conscious is only going to get him into more of bondage, Prabhuji, karma bandhana. So one has to do his prescribed duties only following the scriptures, according to the scriptures. So if he's not doing so, there is a danger of falling into the lower species of the 84 lakh species, Prabhuji. So there are many altruistic activities according to this thing. Sorry, Prabhuji. Actually, you explained about the type of people, Vikarmis, Karmis, and Akarmis. So based upon this, Vikarmis are the people who don't follow the scriptures, they don't believe in God, and they have high chance of falling into the lower species of life in their next birth, Prabhuji. Karmis are the people, they follow Vedas, they do all the pious activities, and they want to enter into the heavenly planets, Prabhuji. But Akarmis are the one who does the work without any more fruitive results expectations, Nishkama Karma. They know they have the strong faith in Krishna, and they perform their devotional service, Prabhuji. So three types of this thing. So accordingly, it is very important that we understand this Ishavasya principle, keeping God as a center, and we have to follow all of our prescribed duties. Whatever work we are doing, we have to keep God as centered. And finally, you summarize this that only by this way one can be free from the karma bandhana, Prabhuji. Otherwise, there is the greatest danger of falling back again into the lower this thing. So the main value of life, you concluded, Prabhuji, a long life is meaningful only if there is a God consciousness. Other than that, there is no other way, Prabhuji, to explain. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Mataji. So very nicely summarized by you both. So now, through further our continuation of this discussion, Mantra 3 explains the fate of those who fail to recognize the Lord's proprietorship and act in a karmic way. So let us see what is the fate of such people. This shloka says, Asurya namate loka andhena tamasavratah tamste preya bigachanti Eke chatma hano janaha. Any volunteer wish to read this? Praveen K. Prabhuji, you want to read the translation for us? Annapayani Devidasi Mataji.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ దండవత్ ప్రణామం. ఒక్క నిమిషం అండి వస్తున్నా. ఒక్క నిమిషం. ద కిల్లర్ ఆఫ్ ది సోల్ హూ ఎవర్ ఈ మే we must enter into the planets known as the worlds of the faithless, full of darkness and ignorance. Hare Krishna. Thanks, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So those who are not keeping Krishna in center and doing all the activities for their own sense enjoyment, such people are known as Atmaha, killer of soul. Where have we heard this word before? Anybody remember discussing about Atmaha? Which was the sloka?
I don't remember the shloka, Prabhuji, but Prabhupada says those who do not follow Krishna consciousness, they are committing spiritual suicide.
Sorry, Mataji, spiritual?
Suicide.
Spiritual suicide, yes. Yeah. There was a very popular sloka, and in fact, I thought Shanti Sudesh Mataji, when she unmuted, she will tell, because last time when we discussed, she had added on this. So the shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, chapter 20, 17 sloka. Couple of times I've told this beautiful shloka before. Hrideham adyam sulabham sudurlabham plavam sukalpam guru karnadharam mayanukulena nabhasveriteritam pumams bhavabdim nataretsa atmaha. This sloka clearly says that this human form, human body, what we have received is the very rarest of rare achievement we have got. And this body is compared to a perfectly built boat. And who is the captain of this boat? Anybody now remember? We discussed.
The
spiritual master.
Sorry?
The spiritual master or the acharyas?
Yes, yes. So the spiritual master is the captain of this boat, and the mercy of the Lord is favorable wind. So even after getting all these things, if somebody is not perfecting their life, continue to find excuses in following the instructions of our acharyas, then such people is known as Atmaha, killer of the soul. So human life, the three energies, what have we learned and what we are? Three kind of energies been discussed in Bhagavadgita.
Supreme
superior energy, inferior energy, and marginal energy, Prabhuji.
Yes, marginal energy. Why are we known as marginal energy?
Because we are
Go
superior to
either
the
way,
inferior
Prabhuji.
material energy, and we get influenced by this one, sir, Prabhuji, inferior energy.
Okay. So marginal energy, we can go down or go up. The choice is ours. Okay, we are all conditioned souls. We can be a liberated souls, or we can glide down to the darkest region of hell. So how we utilize this human body in this material world is extremely important. Bhagavad Gita 7.3 sloka. Manushyanam sahasresu kaschid yatati siddhe yatatham api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. So out of many thousands, so after many births, we get this human body, and out of many such men, one may endeavor towards perfection. by mercy of our Guru Parampara and associated devotees, somehow we have realized this path and we are among those very handpicked, chosen, blessed souls who are endeavoring to perfect our life. That is why we are all here, right? And those who have achieved such perfection, hardly one knows the truth of the Lord. So even it is said that as we progress further, we understand even the demigods and great sages have not completely understood the potencies, the opulences of the Lord. So that is the glories we will discuss more in detail as we progress. So in these two type of human beings is being discussed. Somebody wish to unmute and read this. What are the two types?
Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, Mataji.
Two types of human beings. One, suras or godly persons are cognizant of these responsibilities and who work in that spirit. Number two are the asuras, demons, who are neglectful of these responsibilities or who have no information of them. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Yes. So suras are cognizant of these responsibilities. What are our responsibilities? We will discuss again as we progress. Dharma, what is our dharma? What is paro dharma? We will discuss. So here, the suras, knowing their responsibilities, they're always aiming the lotus feet of the Lord, serving the lotus feet of the Lord. So what should be our prayers?
To be always
Anything?
engaged.
Yes, Mataji.
To be always engaged in the service of the Lord wherever
Yes.
we are.
So Shikshastakam again, Sloka 5. Anybody remember what is the fifth sloka of Shikshastakam?
Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram.
Yeah. Ainanda
Ainanda
tanuja kinkaram
Tanuja.
patita mam vishame bhavambudo kripaya tava pada pankajam stita dhuli sadarsha vichantaya. Oh, son of Maharaja Ananda, Lord Krishna, I am your eternal servant. Somehow, because of my own furtive acts, I have fallen to this horrible ocean of nescience. Now, by your causeless mercy, please somehow take me back to your lotus feet and keep me as your dust at your lotus feet. So coming back to that ocean of nescience. So this body, as we said, coming back to that analogy, Prabhupada gives analogy in this as the solid boat designed to cross over the ocean. We have fallen into this ocean of misery, and this body is that boat. Material world is considered as ocean. The acharyas, the Vedic scriptures, sadhu, shastra and guru are those boatmen, and the favorable breeze is the blessings of the Lord. With all this advantage, if one does not pursue self-realization, what is self-realization?
We are the part and
I
parcel
am
of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, we are the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Good answer. What more?
And our
That we
position
are
is
the
to be the
eternal servitors
eternal
of the Lord.
servitors of
Servitor
Lord.
of the
Anyone.
of the servitor of the Lord.
Yeah, servator of the Lord. Yes. What more? You are all now Bhakti Shastri students, so all high level philosophies you are giving. I am looking at something elementary.
I'm not body. Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yes,
Hare
yes,
Krishna.
Mataji.
I'm not body. I'm soul,
Yes,
and my dharma is to serve Lord.
yes. So
Hare
I
Krishna.
am not this body, I am the spirit soul. Then comes I am part and parcel of the Lord. Then comes my purpose is to serve the Lord. Yeah. We are struggling with the basic foundation itself. Forget about knowing we are the part and parcel of the Lord and engaging in devotional service is the Parama Dharma. We are struggling with this basic understanding itself, isn't it? So, knowing that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul, Atato Brahma Jignasa is the conclusion of this chapter. Atato Brahma Jignasa, knowing that. So, one who is not putting his endeavors in this life to know this fact, such a person is known as Atmaha, killer of the soul. Now, where do we go in the next life? It has been touched. One who endeavors but cannot perfect what is the next life for them, and those who do not follow any of these religious scripture injunctions, what is the next life for them is discussed in next couple of slides. Somebody can read this for me. Anybody who has not participated yet is to unmute and read. Yes, Mataji, please.
Yeah. Where do we go?
Little louder,
Where,
Mataji. Voice is little.
where do we go in the next life? A 6.4143. A man who enters upon the path of self-realization but does not complete the process despite having sincerely tried to realize his relationship with God is given a chance to appear in a family of Suchi or Smriti.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
So one who has put his endeavors but who could not complete, Krishna gives chance to take birth in Suchi or Srimat. Sloka 6.41 to 43, this discuss. Prapya punya kritam lokan usitva shashwati samaha suchinam smrita smimatam gehe yoga brastho vichayate. So unsuccessful yogi, after many years of endeavors, if he is not able to complete, then he takes birth in a aristocratic family or a Vaishnavas family. So there is no loss in our endeavors. Swalpapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Now what is that bhayat? Is here. What is the danger if we do not engage in devotional service? What is the danger? So if a man fails to discharge his duty, transmigration to Asuric planets, the darkest hellish planets, he has to fall down. Again, Atmaha. So if with all this facility, human being does not fully utilize his life for self-realization, he must be considered as Atmaha, a killer of soul. And Shri Upanishad through these shlokas is warning us clearly. The term that killer of soul is destined to enter into the darkest region of ignorance, to suffer perpetually. Birth after birth, we continue to suffer, continue to glide down if we do not utilize this life for perfecting ourselves. But what is happening to the modern society? Yeah, there is a beautiful explanation here. Who wishes to read this for me? Anybody not participated yet?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Aryan Prabhu, please go ahead.
The modern soul-killing civilization has only increased the problems of the hungry stomach. The laws of nature are so cruel, however, that despite his denunciation of the need for self-realization and his eagerness to work hard to fill his stomach, he is always threatened by unemployment. Hare Krishna.
So if you see, for getting up early for sadhana, we have a lot of excuses. But if we have a flight to catch in the morning, do we have any excuse? What are we prioritizing in our life? There is a clear realization. We can just self-reflect. What are we prioritizing in our life. We always prioritize our material responsibilities. And as a result, what are we getting? The laws of material nature is so cruel that despite of our efforts, okay, it is always put us in anxiety, threaten of unemployment. And second thing we need to understand, the humans compared to all the animal life, humans are given superior facilities compared to animals, right? So why? Because we all have a higher purpose. Prabhupada gives a beautiful analogy that the higher ranking officers, even in our organizations, the higher top bosses have higher facilities. Why? The entire organization is their responsibility to run, right? So comparing to the material thing, even in material life, they have the higher facilities because they have higher responsibilities. Similarly, when the human being has got the higher facilities, it is for our higher purpose, higher responsibilities. So what is the higher purpose and higher responsibilities we all have? Hare Krishna. So what is our responsibilities in this world having human form? What is our purpose and what is our responsibilities? Two things.
To serve the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay.
Yes. What more? Specifically from our scriptures, from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya.
Achieving the perfection of life and helping others to achieve the perfection of life.
Yes.
That is a Krishna
Yes.
Krishna consciousness.
Janma sartak kari karo paropakar. So the purpose is to perfect our life and responsibility is to spread this message to as many conditioned souls as possible. Perfecting our life is for us to go back. That is for us. But if we want to serve the Lord, if we want to please the Lord, then it is our responsibility to preach this knowledge to as many conditioned souls as possible. That is the very reason Srila Prabhupada, at the age of 70, he could have happily stayed back in Vrindavan doing all the devotional service. He had everything to go back to Krishna. But for him, following the instructions of his Guru Maharaj to spread this message to as many conditioned souls was more important than he himself going back to Krishna. So when we say that we have to follow the footstep of our Guru Acharyas, these are the key lessons we have to take. And by giving this to others, even there we have our own benefit. More we give, more we get. That is the realization. More we speak about the glories of the Lord, more we ourselves get perfect, more we ourselves get fixed up in this spiritual journey. So the forces of Maya cannot throw us away. If we are only focusing on our own self-realization and our own journey back to Godhead, Maya will throw you out very easily. But when we are passing on this message to as many conditioned souls, when they realize what they got, their prayers, their blessings will strengthen our journey back to the Godhead. That is the importance of this Krishna consciousness preaching mission. Prabhupada says, our Guru Maharaj says, everybody start as a student, but everybody should transform to be a gurus. Srila Prabhupada wanted millions of gurus to spread this message. So you can't continue to be students of this movement. Whatever you have got, you have to start preaching to others. As a Bhakti Shastri students, this is what is expected from each one of you. Either you take up preaching or at least help those who are preaching this mission. There are so many different ways we can join hands and serve. That is how more than 500 plus devotees who have come through this online Gita course have joined hands. Today, thousands of devotees are part of this online movement. How is this mission running? Because these devotees coming together, selflessly serving behind the scenes. Even our own course, our own Bhakti Shastri, so many volunteers, devotees are selflessly serving. Otherwise, we would not have come this far. So realize what you got today. You are in the fag end of completion of Bhakti Shastri. Realize what you got today. It is because of the sacrifices of so many volunteers working behind the scene. And definitely many of you will definitely pray for those volunteers, right? So those prayers is what take us back to Godhead. So without any deviation, if you want to go back to Krishna in this lifetime itself, only way out is chanting of holy name and devotional service. So the conclusion, somebody wish to read the conclusion? Especially devotees who have not participated yet.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Conclusion: Importance of human life. We are given this human form of life not to work hard like asses, swine, and dogs, but to attain the highest perfection of life. Those who misuse human life are sent to Asurya planet, regions of darkness, suffering, ignorance, rebirth into lower species. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank
Thank you,
you.
Mataji. So here, one of the key takeaway for all of us, we are in a big material illusion. The modern man says, let me first satisfy my stomach. Spirituality life can be secondary. Filling stomach is just an analogy, just an example. But we can relate to ourselves. As I said, catching early morning flight. If there is some important meeting with our managing director tomorrow, all night we will sit preparing for the meeting tomorrow. We will wake up early preparing for the meeting tomorrow or the day. But for sadhana, we have millions of excuses. From Bhagavadgita, we have learned, Ye yata mam prapadyante. Krishna reciprocate to the degree of your surrender. If you want to continue to do your Krishna consciousness devotional service in your convenience, Krishna will also reciprocate to his convenience. There are millions of dedicated devotees. Krishna will take care. Krishna will take care of us also. But to the degree to which we are surrendering. This is the key lesson from this chapter. So the purpose of human life, as said, Atato Brahma Jignasa. That is the beginning. And then as we progress, one who fixed up in that realization becomes a guru. That is what we understood the qualification of guru, right? So guru is gaining the knowledge, serving his guru parampara, and then fixed up in Brahman platform. So that is the purpose for life. So the final conclusion here. Who is to read? Praveen K. Prabhuji, are you there now? Can you unmute and read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hold on, if Praveen K. Prabhu can unmute and read.
Hare
Can go
Krishna.
ahead.
The final conclusion: human life is not meant
Little
only.
louder, Prabhuji.
1 second. Audible now?
Yes, little better now.
Final conclusion: human life is not meant only for solving economic problems. True purpose: to solve the problem of birth, death, old age, and disease. To pursue self-realization. To recognize God's prosperity. Prabhupada. A society that neglects these goals becomes a soul-killing civilization, leading to darkness and suffering. Hare Krishna.
Leading to darkness and suffering. Yes. So, what are the four Purusharthas? Anybody heard about the Purusharthas? Purusharthas are also known as the purpose of human life, as per some of the scriptures.
Hare
And
Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji,
many
Krishna.
it
of
is
us are
Dharma,
limited to that.
Kama, and Moksha, Prabhuji.
Yes, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. We are all struggling within this. So, what is the difference between Dharma and Parodharma? What is Dharma and Parodharma?
Our eternal Sanatan Dharma and what we think we have to follow in the material life.
Okay, good try. What more?
Parodharma is serving the eternal Lord, doing everything for the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah.
And dharma, people say, this is my dharma to look after my family.
Yeah.
So I will first look after my family, then if I have time, I'll do something else. So
Yeah.
that is the mindset.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Perfectly said. So I will first, Dharma, what is Dharma? Dharma, the essence of Dharma is serving. So what are we doing? We are serving our own body, our own senses, our own family, our own society, and it goes up to serving the country. The problem is there is no Krishna in this. If you can keep Krishna in this and do all these activity, then it becomes Parodharma. Savai pumsa parodharmo yato bhakti yadokshaje ahituki apratiyata yayatma suprasiddhati. The dharma what we are trying to do is for the pleasure of this body. The parodharma is for the pleasure, the nourishment of the soul. As I have already discussed many times at length on this sloka, hope you already clear on this, so I am not spending more time. Every word of this sloka is so important. It clearly says what nourishes or what gives us true blissfulness to us. When I say us, the soul we are. And how we need, and what is that? Serving the Lord. And how that service should be ahituki apratiyata, without any expectations and uninterrupted. So let us move further to Sloka 4. Mantra 4 explains why such people are unable to understand the Lord's position is beyond material calculation and is thus known only when he reveals himself. So we will discuss more on this. And I also wish to touch upon the mantra 5, which continues this discussion describing that the Lord has inconceivable potencies which render him unknowable to those who does not favor. We will discuss the potencies, inconceivable potencies of the Lord, and we will also try to understand why we are not able to know the glories of the Lord. So this sloka, Anejad ekam manaso javiyo naina deva nuan purvam arasat tadhavato anya atyeti tistat tasmin apo matariswa dadati. Somebody wish to read the translation for me? I see.
Hare
Yes,
Hare
Mataji. I see Gupta D. Looks to be a new name. Is it Devika Gupta Mataji or anybody else? Who is Gupta D? Yeah, meanwhile, you can unmute and identify. Please, someone who is going to read this translation?
I'll do first. Shall I do first?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. Although fixed in his abode, the personality of Godhead is swifter than the mind and can overcome all others running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him. Although in one place he controls those who supply the air and rain, he surpasses all in excellence. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes. So, although the Lord is in his abode, through his energies, he has expanded to every atoms. Ishavasam principle, everything animate, inanimate, Lord presence is there. It says he moves faster than the speed of our mind. And he surpasses all demigods. Nobody is above the Lord. He controls the entire universe through his inconceivable power and expansions. So we'll discuss more on this. So in this, the sloka gives some kind of a contradiction. It doesn't move, but he is fastest. He localized in one place, non-moving, but pervading all everywhere. So this mantra very clearly suggests that the absolute truth is absolute person. This we will discuss. This is what we are trying to understand, that absolute person, the Lord is absolute person. Otherwise, there would not be no need to mention so many details. So those details we will discuss as we proceed further. So what we need to understand is, from our mental speculation, if we are trying to understand the Lord, it is absolutely not possible. Lord cannot be understood by our ordinary philosophical thinking. The scriptures, Brahma Samhita confirms the Lord travels faster than the speed of the mind. And at the same time, the scriptures also says that if with our personal endeavors, if we start thinking faster than the mind for millions of years, still we will not be able to understand the inconceivable power of the Lord. The only way, if we want to understand the Lord, is by ye yatamam prapadyante. Until and unless we surrender with devotion, Lord will not reveal. That is how we understand the fire analogy. As per science, the fire, heat and light is all different. But without fire, the heat and light cannot emanate. So who is to read this for me?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Am I audible? I'll read
Yes,
it.
Mataji. Yes, go
Fire
ahead.
analogy. Yes. Fire analogy. In Vishnu Purana, his potencies are compared to the heat and light that emanate from a fire. Although situated in one place, a fire can distribute its light and heat for some distance. Similarly, the absolute personality of Godhead, although fixed in his transcendental abode, Goloka Vrindavan, can diffuse his different energies everywhere.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
so this gives an analogy of this understanding of this sloka, how a Lord who is in Goloka Vrindavana, how he can be present everywhere. Just like a fire emanates the heat and light, through the energies of the Lord, the expansions of the Lord, he is present everywhere. So that is what we discussed, three energies. Lord's internal energy, the spiritual energy, the marginal energy, and material energy. And although the Lord and his energies are non-different, one should not mistake these energies for the supreme truth, nor wrongly consider Lord as impersonal. So what we are trying to understand is, the energies of the Lord are emanating from the Lord. But it is like the curd from the milk. So the source of everything is the Lord. But the men who are accustomed to reaching conclusion according to their capacity of understanding, but Lord is not subjected to our limited understanding. Upanishad warns us no one can approach the Lord by his own limited potencies. So Sloka 10.2, Bhagavadgita Sloka, which says, Name vidu suragana prabhavam na maharshayaha aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasaha. Can somebody read this for me, please? The
Hare
translation.
Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Bhagavadgita 10.2. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulence. For in every respect, I am the source of the demigods and sages.
Yeah. So even the great demigods and sages have not understood the opulences of the Lord, the potencies of the Lord, the expansions of the Lord. What, as a human being with our limited senses, with our own mental speculations, what conclusions we can arrive? That is the importance. Need to learn directly. So who can then, when the greatest demigods are not aware of the potency, then who can explain the potencies of the Lord? How can we know?
Lord
Knowledge
himself.
comes from the parampara.
Shivakumar
That's correct,
Prabhu
from the
said
Lord
it right.
himself.
Lord Himself has say. That is why the Bhagavad Gita is known as the song of the Lord, right? So through Bhagavan, and as Mataji said, through Guru Parampara, through this disciplic succession, as it is, we can receive. And that is the importance of Bhagavad Gita as it is. We have received from Prabhupada through the Parampara. And then the part and parcel we discussed. Previously we discussed Atato Brahma Jignasa, and then now we are trying to understand the part and parcel. We are all the part and parcel of the Lord. So who wish to read this for me? Akshita Reddy Mataji, have you read before, or you wish to read for us?
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Parts and parcels. Although the individual part and parcels of the Lord's potencies have all the symptoms of the Lord Himself, they are limited. The parts and parcels are never equal to the whole. Therefore, the parcel can never appreciate the whole.
Yeah.
Every part and parcel of the complete whole is endowed with some particular energy to act according to the Lord's will. That doesn't mean that the individual soul has no initiative on his own. When a person properly utilizes his initiative or active nature with intelligence, understanding that everything is Lord's potency, he can revive his original consciousness. But when the living entity forgets his particular activities under the Lord's will, he is considered to be in Maya, illusion.
Thank you, Mataji. So here we discussed from our previous session the ascending knowledge and descending. So ascending, the parcel can never appreciate the whole. From my capacity, I can never appreciate what is the glories of the Lord. It can only be appreciated when it is coming top down. That is the way we have to accept this knowledge. Again, 15.7, the same. Mamaivam sajiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Manashastrani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. This confirms, the Lord Himself confirms the living entity is in this conditioned world is my fragmental parts. But why are we struggling? Because we, in our conditioned state, is trying to satisfy the senses by trying to exploit the material nature. And some of the examples of how we can understand the whole and the part and parcel. There are many examples we have discussed before. Anybody wish to share?
Gold mine and jewelry.
Yes, go. Gold and gold mine, yes. What more? Many such examples are there.
And the sun.
Yes, sun ray and the sun.
Drop of ocean and ocean.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. So the perfect knowledge. Who is to read this for me? Suraj Prabhu, you want to unmute and read this for me? Suraj Prabhuji. Gupta D. Mataji, can you unmute and read this
Hare
for
Krishna,
us?
Prabhuji. Perfect knowledge. Krishna's energy can be used for liberation and also binding, punishing the living entity, like the power can be used for heating and cooling. The Lord can be known by one who has adopted submissive attitude. Perfect knowledge, knowing Krishna's features, his potencies, how these potencies work by his will.
Yeah. How these potencies work by this will. Okay, this is Devika Gupta Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So the message is very clear. In our early days, we, with limited intelligence, we try to understand everything analytically, scientifically, trying to question everything. That is all good. That is how we all have to begin. But as we progress, we have to surrender, knowing that our capacity is not there to know the Lord. When you surrender, ye yatamam prapadyante, Krishna start revealing. That is the key message we are getting out of this sloka. Now we are moving further to sloka 5. So I will take this last sloka for 10-15 minutes and we will stop. So this sloka further explains the inconceivable potency of the Lord. It will further expand. It says, Tad ejati tan naijati, tad dure tad av antike, tad antarasya sarvasya, tadu sarvasya yasya bhayataha. Who is to read the translation? Anybody who have not participated yet? I will give you a chance, Mataji. Let me see if anybody else. Last sloka for the day. Anybody else who have not participated yet is to unmute and Hare Krishna. Looks like all have participated so far. Okay, Mataji, please go ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji. Issue 5. Tad ejati tad nejati. Sorry, Prabhuji, sorry.
Yeah.
The Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He is far away, but he is very near as well. He is within everything, and yet he is outside of everything. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So these are all inconceivable potencies. Why? We can't conceive these things with our own intelligence, knowledge, or mental speculations. It says, Lord walks and does not walk. Lord is far, but he is within. Within us, Paramatma, right? Yet he is outside everything. So how do we know more about this? So these contradicting statements, walk and doesn't walk, far away but very near, inside and outside. So what are the three Vishnus we have learned? Can somebody say
Garbhodakshayi
from
Vishnu,
our level 1 classes?
Kshirodakshayi.
Sorry?
Garbhodakshayi Vishnu.
Yeah. Karanodakashayi Vishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. Right? So Lord is Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. So Koti Brahma, the owner, the proprietor of Koti Brahmandas. And then he also enters a Brahmanda, a universe. as Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, and then as Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, he resides in every atoms. So can somebody read this for me? For the class? Who is to read? Sita Kunda Devi Dasi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
The abode of the Lord is beyond material sky, but despite him being so far, he descends with the speed of the mind before us. Yet, when he comes before us, we neglect him. Bhagavadgita 9.11. Consider him as a mortal, ordinary man. These are transcendental activities executed by his inconceivable potencies. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So 9.11 Sloka. Avajanatin mamuda manushim tanum ashritam. Param bhuyam ajanato mama bhuta maheshwaram. So fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all living beings. So only fools deride. Yeah, next. Who is to read? Sudarshana Rao Prabhuji, want to read this? Suraj Prabhu, are you there? Hare Krishna. My humble request, when the videos are on, I expect devotees are behind the cameras and attentively listening. Kalpana Mataji, please take a note of this. Devotees who are not responding, please do not mark the attendance for them. Okay. So, who is to
May
read
I read,
this?
Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
Can I read Prabhuji?
I read Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So many volunteers. Nice to get such volunteers. Yes, Praveen MS Prabhuji, you please read this.
Hare Krishna. We cannot break such convictions. Therefore, the terms of
Voice is
Mother
some disturbance in the
that
voice,
is
Prabhuji.
Mayavada school.
Some disturbance in the voice.
Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yeah, better now.
Sorry, Prabhuji. 1 second, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. With our limited fund of knowledge, we cannot accommodate such contradictions. Therefore, we conceive the Lord in terms of our limited powers of understanding. That is, Mayavada school accepts impersonal and rejects personal features. Bhagavata school provides perfect conception, both personal and impersonal.
Yeah. So the Mayavada philosophy only picks the impersonal feature of the Lord, but Bhagavata school, the devotees, only understand the perfect, including both perfect consumption, both personal as well as impersonal feature. So Srimad Bhagavatam clearly gives us through the Sloka, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Sloka 11, Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramameti bhagwaniti sabhyate. So Lord can be realized in three features: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan feature. And the Bhagavan feature realization is the most perfect realization of the Lord. Further, it talks about the Saguna and Nirguna. So how these terminologies is being interrupted, and then misinterpretation is happening of these words, and how people are being misled, we can clearly see here, and Prabhupada clearly clarifies this for us. So, who is to read this important slide?
Shall I go ahead, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Sagunas and Nirguna features. In this connection, two words the revealed scriptures often apply to the Lord. Suguna with qualities and Nirguna without qualities. Suguna doesn't mean that the Lord must take on a material form and subject to the laws of material nature. Madhya Leela 6.141. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, these are all the terminologies being misinterpreted, saying Krishna is also like a human. He took birth 5,000 years back. He has material qualities. Nirguna, they pick this Nirguna word and say that the Supreme Lord is formless. The actual thing what we need to understand, Krishna is the master of both internal as well as superior energy, is material energy. But Krishna is not, the form of Krishna is spiritual quality, it is transcendental quality, not the material quality. And when he say Nirguna, is the meaning what we need to understand is the guna, Triguna. What is Triguna? The Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Satguna. Krishna is above this. God is never under the control of this material nature. That is what we need to understand from this point. So the key point we need to understand is Krishna has a eternal transcendental form, and his impersonal Brahman feature is just an effulgence from his body, from which even the sun and moon is getting the energies. So we need to understand in which way the Lord is Nirguna. For him, there is no difference between the material and spiritual energy, because he is the source of both material and spiritual energy. He cannot be influenced at any time by these material energies. Yeah, so these are the key things we need to understand. So somebody can read this.
Can I read it, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
In BG 4.11, Lord says that how he treats his devotee depends on the devotee's degree of surrender. The Lord reserves the right not to reveal himself to anyone and everyone, but to show himself only to those souls who surrender unto him. Thus, for surrendered soul, he is always within reach, whereas for the unsurrendered one, he is always far away and cannot be approached.
Yes. Just for the sake of saying, we all say we are the surrendered souls. We all at cross level say that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Lordhead. I am the Dasanu, 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 Dasa. But your surrender, you have to prove to your Krishna, not to the world. You have to prove to the Krishna and our Guru Parampara by your actions. Again, this Sloka, Ye Yathamam Prapadyante, Krishna will reciprocate to the degree of your sincerity and seriousness. Again, going back to me, for me, there are two things. If your surrendered soul, if two boxes are ticked, then you are a surrendered souls. One is your sincerity in your sadhana. Second, the interest, Shravanam, Kirtanam, the chanting of holy name and Shravanam, how eagerly you are and how attentively you are attending this. Not for the certificate, not for the attendance. How attentively you are listening, how attentively you are participating. Krishna knows. And Krishna reciprocate. By that reciprocation only we will progress in our Krishna consciousness journey. If any key takeaway you want to take, this is the key, important key takeaway. Supreme Lord, how we reciprocate, Brahma Samhita, Govinda. The primeval Lord enters everything by his plenary portion, and he is outside in the form of Virata Rupa or within as Antaryami, Paramatma form. And he awards our results based on our actions. So we may forget that we have done whatever we have done. We only complain that I've been living such a pious life, I have not done anything. There is so much of issues in my life. It is all because of our own karmic reactions, which we do not know, we do not remember. And then Krishna reciprocates as a Archa Vigraha. So Archa Vigraha is not an idol, as many say. It is Archa Vigraha, deity. By doing Prana Pratishta, the Lord enters this idol and he reciprocate. So why is this? For us to engage in our service. There's a beautiful sloka here. Shaili Darumai Lauhi Lepya Lekya Cha Saikati Manomai Manimai Pratimasta Vidhasmrtha. The deity form of the Lord is said to appear in 8 forms: stone, wood, metal, earth, paint, sand, the mind, or jewel. So finally, all these things Lord is doing, the material energy, the expansions, everything is for Lord's personal enjoyment. And we are all part of that. And our purpose is to please. Whatever we do, if it is pleasing Krishna, that is perfection of our life. So with this, we'll come to end of today's session. Thank you very much for your patient listening. There was a OBA given, right? I think next week is the submission time. Please take time to complete your OBAs in time. All previous modules we were trying to extend time for you, but I expect all the devotees who will be recommended for certification to submit their OBAs on time, at least the last module, and attend your respective exams on time, so that collectively, without waiting for you, we can give all these group of devotees who are sincerely submitting everything on time. I want to submit for certification and move on. So next couple of sessions, we are going to end our module 5 and complete this course. So please don't keep it to the last day and come back with some excuses. You have 1 more week time. Please take 1 or 2 hours maximum. Close your respective assignments.
Prabhuji, we also have the Sloka exam on the 14th, which is next week as well.
Okay. So you can close it today, tomorrow, whatever submissions.
Right.
Take 1
Prabhuji, I
or
had
2
one
hours for
question.
Yes, Mata.
When we worship deities at home,
Yeah.
when we regard them with bhakti, Prabhuji,
Yeah.
doesn't that automatically make that deity the representative of the Lord?
See, it is
Our
again
feeling of
the
bhakti is
Lord.
awakened by looking at the Lord's deity.
Yeah. Very nice question. Krishna is known as Bhavagrahi Janardana.
Prabhuji,
Our
can you say that
devotion.
again?
Bhavagrahi Janardana. Krishna,
Bhavagrahi Janardana.
Bhavagrahi, he is hunger for our devotion, the bhav. And
Right.
Krishna can reciprocate in any way. One of the very beautiful pastime of Pundanam in South India is a very great saint, and he writes lot of poems. In his poem, he make one small error, mentioning as Mara Prabhu. Mara is the tree. please mute. So Maharaj Shri, so there are a lot of scholars trying to make fun of this saint, and to prove them wrong, Krishna becomes a tree and proves that this saint is right. So if your bhav is to that level, Krishna will reciprocate, but not everybody are to that level. That is why the deities in temple, all the archavigrahas and all the ways of rituals, they're all following.
Yes,
Right, Mataji.
thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you for patiently waiting till that time. This is not the usual time what we do. Thank you for taking out your time, and full house, full attendance. All devotees have joined. Thank you very much. Vancha kalpataro basya chakrapa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, गुरु परंपरा की जय. All glories to assembled devotees. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thanks, Prabhuji.
Hare